Across the sun-scorched plains of Burkina Faso, a quiet revolution is unfolding, one that hums with the rhythm of hoe-striking soil, the rustle of ripening wheat, and the steady determination of a people reclaiming their destiny. This is not a tale of despair or dependency, nor is it a story of a nation waiting for the world to lend a hand. No, this is the story of Burkina Faso rising, boldly, defiantly, and unapologetically, under the visionary leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traore. A land once shackled by the chains of foreign aid and colonial-era doubts is now proving that self-reliance is not a dream to chase but a reality to build. Food sovereignty, once a distant whisper on the African continent, is taking root here, sprouting from the sweat of its people and the courage of its leader. Imagine a country where the very hands that once broke the law now break the earth, not to bury their futures, but to plant the seeds of a nation's rebirth. In Burkina Faso, prisoners are no longer shadows locked away in idle confinement, draining the state's meager resources. Instead, they are farmers, builders, contributors. Captain Traore, with a stroke of audacity that has left the world stunned, has turned correctional facilities into thriving agricultural hubs. This is not punishment dressed up as progress, it's empowerment woven into the fabric of national development. When he stood before his people and declared that Burkina Faso would no longer beg for crumbs from foreign tables, he didn't just speak, he acted. And the results? They shimmer like golden stalks of wheat swaying under a Sahelian sun. Picture Boromo Prison Center, a place once synonymous with confinement, now a sprawling testament to possibility. Last week, Mr. Adama Rodrigue Beala, Burkina Faso's Minister of Justice and Human Rights, stepped onto its grounds, not to inspect cells, but to marvel at fields bursting with maize, rice, and wheat. Standing amid the endless rows cultivated by inmates, he spoke words that echoed across the nation. This is the first time this facility has reached such heights of production. What you see here is the beating heart of the Presidential Initiative for Food Self-Sufficiency. His voice carried the weight of a truth Burkina Faso is proving every day: a nation can feed itself when it dares to harness its own strength. The agricultural offensive, launched hand-in-hand with the Ministry of Agriculture, isn't just a policy, it's a battle cry against dependency, a vow that Burkina Faso will produce what it consumes. Now, let's peel back the layers of this transformation. Burkina Faso is a youthful nation. 90% of its people are under 35, a restless tide of energy that, for years, swelled into unemployment, crime, and overcrowded prisons. Past governments wrestled with this challenge, their hands tied by shrinking budgets and growing despair. But Captain Traore saw something different: potential where others saw problems. Why let resources rot in idleness when they could bloom in purpose? His administration flipped the script. Prisons, once a sinkhole of state funds, are now engines of the economy. Inmates aren't just fed, they feed. Through a meticulously crafted program, they are trained in farming techniques, equipped with skills, and given a chance to rewrite their stories. The state saves money, the fields yield harvest, and the people gain hope. Take a closer look at the ingenuity at play. A new law on community service has redefined justice in Burkina Faso. Instead of languishing behind bars, some offenders can opt to work the land, each month of toil shaving 3 months off their sentences. It's a bargain struck not in coercion, but in opportunity. As they plant potatoes or tend livestock, they learn discipline, responsibility, and the dignity of labor. When they walk free, they don't return empty-handed, they carry the tools to build a life beyond crime. The numbers tell a story of their own. At Boporo Agricultural Prison, 80 inmates farm full-time, swelling to 260 during the rainy season as prisoners from Bombo join the effort. A 500-seat detention center is rising from the earth, its purpose not to confine, but to train, to transform. Here's where the tale takes an astonishing twist. These fields, stretching across hectares of wheat, bananas, and cocoa, aren't hemmed in by barbed wire. No guards pace the perimeter. The inmates themselves hold the keys to their rooms, watching over the crops day and night. Silas Owodogo, Director General of the Prison Service, puts it plainly: they don't escape. They stay, they work, they contribute. Why? Because they've grasped the spirit of this movement. This isn't forced labor, it's a lifeline. It's a chance to belong to something greater, the feeding of a nation. Even as drought claws at the Sahel, these prison farms defy the odds, yielding 30 tons of wheat from a single site, alongside potatoes, maize, and rice. Livestock pens hum with activity, poultry flocks expand, and test plots of cocoa promise a future of exports. Burkina Faso isn't just surviving, it's thriving. Step back for a moment and consider the broader canvas. While other African nations reel from the retreat of USAID and foreign donors, Captain Traore didn't flinch. He didn't plead or panic. He mobilized. He turned inward, tapping the land and labor that had always been there, waiting to be unleashed. One prisoner's words linger like an anthem: "Before, I had no skills, no future. Now, I farm. When I leave, I can stand on my own." We're not just growing food, we're growing a future. This is the pulse of Burkina Faso's revolution, a nation no longer on its knees, but rising to its feet, feeding itself, and eyeing the horizon for surplus to share. Yet, this is only one thread in a tapestry of bold reform. Captain Traore's vision stretches far beyond prison walls. It envelopes the entire agricultural sector, a realm he's determined to reshape into a pillar of sovereignty. For decades, Burkina Faso, like much of Africa, was taught to look westward for its bread, conditioned to believe its soil couldn't sustain its people. Traore calls this what it is: a colonial lie, a shackle to be broken. His administration has launched a sweeping overhaul: mechanization, sustainability, technology, infrastructure, all converging toward one goal: Burkina Faso as a net exporter of food. The land is rich, the workforce is vast, and the will is unbreakable. Why import wheat when it can grow here? Why beg for rice when it can thrive in Burkinabe fields? The numbers are staggering, a testament to ambition matched by action. Over 400 tractors now rumble across rural communities, tearing through the limits of manual labor. Smallholder farmers wield 239 tillers, while 710 motor pumps irrigate parched earth, defying erratic rains. Agricultural extension workers zip through remote villages on 714 motorcycles, bridging the gap between innovation and tradition. This mechanization isn't a luxury, it's a revolution, leveling the playing field so every farmer, big or small, can reap more from the soil. Add to that a flood of subsidized inputs: 68,960 tons of fertilizers to coax life from tired lands, 18,000 tons of seeds to diversify crops, 230,000 tons of fodder to fatten livestock, 10,000 tons of fish feed to boost aquaculture, and more, all backed by a 78 billion FCFA investment that screams commitment. But Traore's vision doesn't stop at machines and seeds, it digs deeper, into the soul of the earth itself. Agroecology is the heartbeat of this movement, a sustainable dance with nature that fights desertification, heals degraded soils, and tames unpredictable rains. Farmers are learning to rotate crops, compost waste, and harvest rainwater, reducing their reliance on costly imported chemicals. Nationwide training programs spread this gospel, teaching organic pest control and water-saving tricks like drip irrigation. The result? Farming that doesn't just feed today, but thrives tomorrow, a legacy for a land too long exploited. Technology, too, is a silent partner in this uprising. Picture a farmer in a remote village, phone in hand, checking weather forecasts to time his planting, tracking market prices to sell smart, or applying for microfinance to grow his plot. Digital platforms, backed by the government, bring these tools to the fingertips of even the smallest producers, shrinking the gap between raw toil and modern gain. Crop insurance shields them from climate's whims, while research, partnerships with universities and global experts, birth drought-resistant seeds and smarter irrigation. This isn't farming as survival, it's farming as power. And then there's the infrastructure, the arteries that carry this bounty to the people. New roads snake through the countryside, linking farmers to markets. Modern storage facilities lock in harvest, slashing post-harvest waste. Fresh marketplaces buzz with trade, cutting out middlemen so farmers pocket more. Every brick laid, every mile paved, is a rejection of imported food, a step toward a self-fed nation. Under Traore, agriculture isn't just a job, it's a weapon of independence, a shield of resilience, a banner of pride. The world should take note, because Burkina Faso is asking hard questions. Why do so many African prisons sit idle, draining treasuries, when they could produce? Why do leaders lament aid cuts instead